Well, where shall we start then? The group games are now over, and the round of 16 starts tomorrow on Saturday. So let's just go through a bit of stats and stuff like that around the last two matches, yesterday Thursday and today's Friday's matches. So Courtois wins his 100th cap yesterday against Croatia. Canada's goal versus Morocco was the 100th goal of this World Cup and the first own goal scored at this World Cup. And Nasiri, the first Moroccan to score in multiple World Cups with his goal against Canada. Busquets' 30th appearance at a World Cup or Euros. And Stephanie Frappart, I think I've pronounced that right, hopefully, became the first woman to referee a men's World Cup match, and that match was Germany versus Costa Rica. Something on Paredes completed 77 passes out of 80 attempts against Poland, and he only came on in the 59th minute as a sub. So no sub has ever completed more passes in a World Cup match than that. Musiala for Germany completed 12 dribbles against Costa Rica, which is the record for a teenager in World Cup history. Canada, with their defeat against Morocco, it was their 6th straight defeat at World Cup, so I don't think they've ever won a World Cup match. And today, Portugal's team versus South Korea is the youngest average age, 27 years, 198 days of any Portuguese World Cup team since their fourth place playoff at the 1966 World Cup, and that was averaging 27 years and 76 days, and that was also Eusebio's final World Cup appearance. Ayu's penalty missed today was the 5th penalty missed of this World Cup, and it's the first World Cup where 3 teams from the Asian Confederation have qualified for the knockout stages. Australia, Japan and South Korea. And let's start talking about some of the actual things that happened in the matches then. So yesterday, I'll just run you through the scores again. So we'll just go through the matches. Croatia versus Belgium. The Belgium, the golden generation is out, and Martinez, the manager, left his post after the match yesterday, which was the right thing to do, I think. The Belgium, I don't know, the golden generation, where they deserve that tag anyway. I know even Martinez was saying that they were number 2 in the world rankings, FIFA rankings, for so long, but what did they really do? They didn't do anything special, I don't think. And the camp just looked not together, especially the De Bruyne comments. I hadn't heard of those comments until about earlier this week, and apparently he said them about a month ago. So you don't ever say that about the team, even if you do believe it, that they're too old to win the World Cup. Anyway, that match, oh god, Lukaku came on. I'm not sure what minute of the match that he came on, but some people are saying it's one of the worst appearances or performances of all time. I think he had 3 chances. I'm not sure if there was like 4, but one of them was offside anyway. But he came on, and that might haunt him for a while. That could send them out. So I don't know how they won one match anyway. So if they had won that match, they would have been through anyway, because they would have been on 6 points. But I don't know if one of the other matches how they affected it. But Belgium are out anyway, and probably for the best. Probably for the best. Save them getting embarrassment from one of the other top teams. And Canada versus Morocco. So Canada won, Morocco 2. I didn't watch that match, but Morocco have finished top of that group, haven't they? So they're doing well. So that match against Spain could be interesting, and we'll get onto Spain in a bit anyway. Well, right now, actually, Japan 2, Spain won. And from that first half, I don't think anyone would have expected this result at all. Spain were looking very, very comfortable in that first half, almost like you was thinking this could easily turn into like 3 or 4. But Japan, right after the break, came back with a goal, and I'm just trying to think which was the first goal. Uh, Doan, is it who scored? Was it the poor kick out from Simon? And I had a feeling about Simon. I think I said it on one of the podcasts earlier in the week that I don't know if it seems like he's too comfortable with the ball or whether he's not good enough or whatever. But poor kick out from him, and it was about, I have to say, you probably have to blame on this one probably Simon and Balde as much as probably Simon, because if Balde has that touch and secures that ball, it doesn't happen. But it's a loose touch from him and he loses the ball to Doan. I think hopefully I'm pronouncing that name right as well, and Doan wins it, or is a player that contests it with Balde and it falls loose to Doan, who beats Pedri, and I think he beat Pedri a bit too easily as well. Pedri's let him come onto his left foot and he's shot and it's gone through someone's hands. Well, he saved it, right? Not saved, but he's got 2 hands on it and he's almost pushed it into the goal. And you're thinking that has to be pushed wide. That cannot be going in. So you can blame him a bit for the kick out, but then you definitely blame him for not saving that as well. And that just gives Japan a lift straight away in the 47th, 48th minute. And then the controversy starts. So then Japan score another goal in the 50th minute. Well, that was the time of the goal anyway when it went in, around about 51st minute. But it got ruled out, I think, because the ball crossed the line. But VAR checked and they ruled that it was just in. So that goal was scored by Tanaka and it was assisted by Duran as well. Lovely little ball across the box and player just gets there. And on commentary, the commentators were convinced it was out just from the first clip. But to me, when I saw it, I thought to myself, it's not clear cut. Because I'm not sure if a lot of people think that part of the ball has to be over the line and then that's considered, but the whole actual ball has to be over the line. And you could see that, hold up, there could be a chance here just by the curvature of the ball, like they say. So that was a big delay for that. And obviously they didn't release the picture, so everybody was in a bit of limbo. So that goal got given. So then it was 2-1. And then Spain was struggling really to build up. And I think it was in the 73rd minute where Germany made it 2-1 versus Costa Rica. So at that moment in time when it was 2-all versus Costa Rica, Japan and Spain were going through. And I think there was a point before that where Costa Rica were beating Germany at the same time that Spain were losing. So in that time frame, both Germany and Spain were going out. So we could have had we did have a shock, but it could have been a seismic shock with both of them going out. That would have been, I don't know what the odds would have been for that. So Spain obviously start pushing, but I was thinking to myself was for Spain, it's better that they finished second, because then I think if they had finished first, they would have got Croatia. So if Croatia or Morocco, well, even though Morocco finished first, I was thinking to myself, Spain, you almost, as long as Germany are not going to score like 4 or 5 goals to change the goal difference, so you're kind of all right almost. You're somehow getting away with it. And then they had a few chances, Spain, nothing clear cut though. And then Germany ended up winning 4-2. So that put the shock of both Germany and Spain going out. But yeah, so Germany are out, which is the second tournament in a row I think that they've gone out in the group stages, which is a big problem I think for the whole of German football. they're talking about a lack of fullbacks and central strikers. So I think something's gonna have to be done in Germany about maybe like a reset almost, but at the same time, I think Germany had the biggest XG for goals. Like, so it's fine margins. It's very fine margins in terms of everything we're doing is wrong, and we have to change the whole system because we went out the World Cup. But if it happens once, it can happen, but two times in a row, and it's not like Germany were playing great either. So we'll have to see what the repercussions are of that Germany exit. So they're like a big shock. And then today, what have we had today? We had South Korea versus Portugal. 2-1 to South Korea. Apparently Ronaldo had a really bad game, which I'm not surprised at. So South Korea scored in the 91st minute, I think. And at the same time that match was happening, Ghana were playing Uruguay, and Uruguay were winning 2-0. So I think when the South Korea score was 1-1 against Portugal and Uruguay were winning, Uruguay were through, them and Portugal were through. But then soon as South Korea scored that second goal and now they're winning against Portugal, Uruguay I think need one more goal to go through on goal difference. And it was the South Korea goal I think was scored in the 91st minute, and it was ahead of the Uruguay match, and Ghana had a chance to go 1-0 up in the first half with a penalty, but it was a really poor penalty from IU. It was saved down to the keeper's left. It's one of them run up stop start kind of, and you have to have the goalkeeper going the wrong way for that penalty, otherwise there's just not enough power to score the goal. So then Uruguay scored 2, and to be fair, they did have a lot of time to score another goal or another couple of goals. They scored the second goal in the 32nd minute. Arrascaeta with his second goal. That was a good goal. I think it was Nunes who flicked it to Suarez, who flicked it out to the left to Arrascaeta, who hit it right foot volley low. At first I thought the goalkeeper might have been to blame, but I think it was just too much power, and just in that spot where it's right kind of next to the goalkeeper, so it's hard to get down. So good finish that was. And then I think maybe in the 40th minute Arrascaeta had a bit of a stamp as well, which I don't think that VAR checked, but it did look like a bit of a stamp, which could have been a red card. But yeah, the match really took a turn like towards the end, I'd say. And even the penalty shot, there was a big penalty shot for Cavani in the 92nd minute of that match, where Valverde plays a ball like in the inside left channel, and Cavani gets on to the end of it, and the defender's like just a little bit behind him, and for me the defender catches him, and live view you can just see like the way he's gone down, and the way like that situation is, that there can be contact in that situation. I don't think that was checked by VAR, or it didn't go to the referee's VAR check anyway. But even from the replays after the match in the studio, it looked like 100% penalty. So Uruguay can feel really well, not kind of robbed, because you don't know if they did get the penalty whether they would have scored. But you might have just heard me moving in my chair there. But you have to give that as a penalty. I couldn't believe that decision really. So Uruguay, they were raging after the defeat, and just seen in the previous matches they were showing that Cavani punched the VAR after the match when he was walking down the tunnel, and they were crowding the referee as well. So could be some retrospective punishment there for them as well. But yeah, So Uruguay are out as well, and oof, the tears on the bench as well, which is not a surprise really. So yeah, grudge match there. Ghana are out, but they kind of, you know, if they're gonna go out, they've got a little bit of revenge, you could say, for the previous meeting in 2010 against Uruguay. And then the later matches, we had Serbia 2, Switzerland 3, and Cameroon 1, Brazil 0. So the Cameroon player scored and he got sent off. Brazil made a lot of changes, 9 changes. I think Dani Alves was starting as well. And that was the first goal they let in. They actually let in some, I saw an attempt that Edison saved. I'm sure it was the first half from the header. So that was the first shot they had against them. So if you look at Brazil and Portugal both losing their final matches, it's not, you could say it's not really too big of a shock because they're resting players and they're through anyway. I think both of them never really had would have. I think Brazil, if Switzerland had scored one more goal in their match, I think they could have finished first. So in that sense, but I think Brazil and Portugal through anyway, so they kind of relaxed a bit on the laurels. But I was just thinking in terms of, like somebody was saying, you have to lose a match at the World Cup, but it has to be the right match, if that makes sense. But when do you want to lose the match in terms of momentum as well? Like now, Brazil and Portugal, they're through anyway, but now the media might start asking a few more questions, and it might just put a bit of halt to like the momentum train. But we'll see how it pans out. So Brazil and Switzerland are through, and it's a good match, that Switzerland match. Um, both teams had to win, I think, to go through anyway, or depending on the results. But yeah, so both of them are through as well. And then now we're looking forward to the round of 16 matches, which are going to start tomorrow. And the first match we have is Holland versus USA. And I'm just gonna try and run through this, like the how matches could pan out. So we've got Holland versus USA, and they're gonna verse the winner of Argentina versus Australia, who play tomorrow as well. And then I think on Sunday we have England versus Senegal and France versus Poland. So the winners of them play each other. And then Japan versus Croatia versus either one of them, whoever wins out of them, versus the winner of Brazil versus South Korea. And then on the other side we have Morocco versus Spain, and the winner of them versus Portugal or Switzerland. So just looking at one side, on paper does look the easier side of the draw, but we've only just finished the group stages today, and there's been a lot of shocks and surprises and things that could have gone in a certain way with just a few more minutes or one goal here and there. So it's been an exciting World Cup in that sense, and I think there's one or two more surprises. If it carries on like this, we could get some big surprises as well. So on paper you'd say Holland, it's going to be Holland versus Argentina, and England versus France, and Spain versus Portugal, and Brazil versus Croatia, but that's on paper. And then I think the semi-finals would be Brazil versus Argentina on one side, and France or England versus Spain or Portugal in another semi-final, I think. So it's like I say, anything can happen, but if it pans out like that, then we're going to look really interesting. I can't see Poland beating France, but we'll probably talk about that tomorrow, or we'll probably cover Saturdays and Sundays matches on Sunday night or Monday morning. So my two Argentina shirts arrived today, so I think you know who I'm going to be supporting in this World Cup. So let's hope that goes right. And thanks for listening. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow or Sunday or Monday. Bye.